The vibe. This music is fire, by the way, that they just give. The free music on StreamYard. Straight heat.
Today, we are doing the 2022 Puppy Tournament. Let's enter that thing. Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. What is up, Timmy? Thank you for joining our stream. Yeah, so the first place to the tournament, real quick before I hit enter, because these things fill in like legitimately 4 seconds. So first place is 75,000, second 40,000. So obviously not the illustrious 2 million to first place like in Best Ball Mania, but it's also only $5, a little bit more affordable and just as fun in my opinion. Let's get into it. So we're gonna enter the
great
puppy
price
here
point, absolutely.
towards the end of the season.
Well, look what we got, buddy. The 101. That's gonna be fun.
Ooh.
Well, this makes things pretty easy to start things off for me, unless you have some hot takes. As much as I love Austin Eckler, as much as Christian McCaffrey looks good in our per game projections right now at Awesemo.com, I'm not deviating away from Jonathan Taylor at 101. How say you?
Yeah, I would also go with Jonathan Taylor. I think it's basically the locked and loaded 101. Now, could he lose some value? Could he maybe finish outside of the top 5? Maybe. But I'd honestly be shocked unless he was injured if he finished outside the top 5. There is some smoke about the other running back on their team, Nyheim Hines, seeing some more work. I'm pretty sure the head coach was like, I would draft Nyheim Hines in fantasy, which is going to make people panic or whatever. But I'm still good drafting Jonathan Taylor at the 101. I think he's the only pick at the 101. And unless you're trying to diversify him for some reason, at every draft you do on Underdog, you're at the 101, then I would pick Jonathan Taylor basically every single time. So Jonathan Taylor's the clear pick here.
We'll go ahead and take that. But since we have some time, let's elaborate on what you just said in that last point. If you're unfamiliar or you just haven't done a whole lot of best ball drafts, because Jonathan Taylor is essentially the consensus #1 overall pick across the board in the industry this year. There isn't much deviation. There a little bit, like Cooper Kupp sometimes sneaks into that 101, but I'm usually seeing him 102, 103. And so you're not going to get him any other draft position. So when you do get the 101, which is completely randomized, theoretically 1 in 12, but as those of you who have done multi-drafts, it's not usually 1 in 12. Just take the opportunity to take Taylor. We'll diversify through getting more drafts in, not through being cute in pick 1. So the player I want to hit is Kyle Pitts. But after that, I think that I love Saquon Barkley. I have him way higher in my rankings here. And then, I don't know, there's a whole different tier like Josh Allen, Cam Akers, Leonard Fournette. If you want him, that's fine. But Kyle Pitts is the one I'm going to advocate for most.
All right, so we took Kyle Pitts. I don't have any shares of Kyle Pitts, I believe, so I like that. And then I would probably go with either Leonard Fournette or Keenan Allen and then try to get, obviously, Justin Herbert later.
I lied. I'm pitching Saquon. We're all crazy for fading him because he always gets hurt. He's in his 4th year in the league. One of the best. You can pick whoever you want. I don't have that much to say.
All right, we'll go Saquon because I also don't have any Saquon. I've been very clear on fading him, but again, when you do a lot of these drafts, I plan on doing a lot of them, you kind of have to hop back in the boat, and I understand why you like Saquon Barkley, right? Because he is really good. He's going to be getting a lot of opportunity. The question is, can he stay healthy, and is the Giants' offense really going to take that next leap up with Brian Daboll? I'm not sure, but I am a big fan of Daniel Jones in a lot of these best ball drafts.
What if this scenario was on? What if the Giants don't plan on signing him to a big deal, but he's playing out his contract year, and they run him into the ground a la DeMarco Murray in his last year in Dallas, if you remember that far back, or DeMarco Murray in his last year in Tennessee, for that matter, and Saquon just gets all the touches. Remember, when Christian McCaffrey and David Johnson had their epic 400-point seasons, those teams were bums. Those teams were bad. They just gave all the work to their star player.
Yeah, well, if that happens, then Saquon Barkley is going to be in the hospital 4 weeks in. So I hope that doesn't happen. Michael Pittman is going in a range where I just don't feel comfortable anymore. I like Michael Pittman, but in the 3rd round, that seems a little too high for me.
What's the difference between him and Jerry Jeudy?
Quarterback play?
I guess so. I think Matt Ryan's going to be a net upgrade. Michael Pittman, and really this is the same argument as Javonte Williams, so great segue. They fit the prototype of players who we're going to be drafting in round 1 eventually. Can we always hit the year that happens? Absolutely not. But we saw it with T. Higgins. Saw it with Cooper Kupp. Seen it with DJ Moore as he continues to creep up draft boards most of the time. These players keep their draft capital for a long time once they stick as the wide receiver 1 on their team. Quarterback play, yeah, that's a great argument, but I think this guy in Michael Pittman, his early second-round draft capital with an improved efficiency quarterback could have a career year, absolutely, in year 3.
Yeah, no, I don't dislike Michael Pittman. I would just feel more comfortable taking him in the 4th round because with the guys that go around him, like Deontay Johnson, Keenan Allen, even like Hollywood Brown, I just feel a little bit more comfortable with them. Already.
Honestly, running back and Lamar Jackson might be my go here. We have the best running back room, a QB1, a tight end 1 would be my vote, but I already commandeered the last round, so I will give you much more say here.
All right.
I've already spoken.
So what about Lamar Jackson and Rashad Bateman?
Bateman is not in my next tier of wide receivers, but wide receiver is totally acceptable at this point. But Lamar Jackson, all right. You were the one hyping up Cam, so that should be the
easier. Yeah, no, I like Cam Akers, but I feel as though I also like J.K. Dobbins in a similar range. How do you feel about that?
Well, not with Lamar. I think that is a stack that I'm not completely staying away from, but I think it limits your upside somewhat.
Okay, so we'll go Lamar, and then we'll go with Cam Akers, and then we'll try to get some of those other later round Baltimore guys. I like Devin Duvernay a ton. Now, he goes in like the last round, but he's a guy that I've got my eye on, especially since we drafted Lamar Jackson. I like Treylon Burks a lot. I think Ryan Tannehill is going to start all year, and I think Treylon Burks is going to be the clear guy there. And we can get Woods later as well.
Michael Thomas.
All right, so you want to go Dylan? It's pretty interesting. And like you said, there's a lot of by 14 players. By 14.
So I do have wide receiver as my best available player. Thielen, Lockett, Renfro, Gallup, Treylon Burks. Gallup is too early for him. Thielen is probably the lowest in ADP. But if you want to go Treylon Burks right now, I'm fine with it.
All right, let's go Thielen. I like Thielen the most, to be honest.
I do too. And his offense could be
Thielen
improved.
Is so underrated right now. And then do you want to go Thielen and Burks?
Sure. I dig it. And I think Burks is already possibly getting that early off-season problem discount. And Robert Woods is still not 100%, though I do think Woods probably misses a week if you had to project.
All right.
I like this comment from Falanini. I like your avatar too. Classic Toy Story with the Bart Simpson as well. This contest is all about unique builds. Absolutely. But if you just think of, even with this many entries, just drafting one player at the end of your draft who doesn't usually get drafted, or one player well ahead of ADP so that you have 2 sort of on the undrafted fringe, that's enough to get unique. You don't need to get crazy here, especially with everyone around you reaching for stacks just like you are. So players get a little bit wild anyway in these tournaments in a way that I don't really think so much about needing to get unique. I just let the draft come to me, focus on what I need to do.
We are up here. I think if we want to get Woods, we have to take him here with another player.
I like Woods a lot. I have been moving the Bills running backs and honestly Christian Watson on top of Robert Woods in my rankings. Woods is already working out in minicamp, so I'm fine taking him there. Christian Watson.
You don't like Lazard?
I think Watson is the guy there. I think we already know what Allen Lazard is.
Oh, we do. I'm just saying. I just wouldn't be surprised if he was the guy. I wouldn't be surprised if Randall Cobb was the guy. I'm fine taking Christian Watson. I'm just saying.
That's my player in my rankings. I've also been double tapping Rodgers and a wide receiver in the 8-9 or 9-10, depending on my draft position. So if Rodgers falls here, now we have a backdoor stack. I don't think he's going to fall. He usually doesn't fall at the end of the 10th. Hey, he could.
I'm just going to bring Tannehill in here in case we don't get Rodgers.
Sure.
Because I think the odds of us getting Rodgers is very low. Rodgers is getting very underappreciated. I mean, I don't have him in the top 12, so maybe I'm underappreciating him too. But
I think you are. Man, oh man. It's getting...
I like Jarvis.
I don't hate it. Jameson Williams off the board.
Yeah.
Galladay's off the board. Yeah, I don't hate it. Jarvis is fine with me.
All right, Jarvis. And then are we going to go another running back or just go receiver again? Because, like, these running backs are, like, besides Melvin Gordon, I'm not very confident in any of these guys. Unless, since we have Thielen, you want to reach up and take Madison.
Madison is one that interests me where, like, what if we have the running back one from that team and then we're done? So we have 3 running backs that we have very high hopes for. One, Alexander Madison, and then maybe like a Gus Edwards to round out the position, and then we're completely done. We're just focusing on other positions.
Okay, yeah, I went with Madison there. I like Melvin Gordon better personally, but based upon who we have and that good game stack potential, I mean, Dalvin Cook's never there at the end of the season typically, so maybe that will end up
Oh
working out
man,
for us.
you with your running backs always get hurt takes.
No, I'm a huge running back early guy. I'm just saying. Some of these guys do always get hurt. Dalvin Cook does always get hurt. Has he played a full healthy season? I don't think so. We got Jameis, Zach Wilson, Danny Dimes, Ryan Tannehill. So realistically, I think we could wait one more round. But if people start getting crazy, you never know. So based on what we're looking at here, you wanted Gesicki. Do you like Gesicki better or Albert O? I would lean with Gesicki.
Let's do it. Let's star him, and then I'm a little nervous about it, but what about Jahan Dotson, who had some positive news, how he's catching everything, quickly becoming Carson Wentz's favorite target? We usually don't see first-round draft picks, especially ones with the 11th overall pick, hanging out in the 13th round of fantasy drafts with absolutely nothing wrong. And theoretically, a quarterback upgrade over Taylor Heineke?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be an upgrade, but is it like a huge upgrade? No, but definitely an upgrade. I'm interested to see if we will even get Tannehill, if I'm being
we'll see. Remember, promo code Awesemo on Underdog Fantasy will get you up to $100 free in first match deposit bonuses.
Yes, sir.
Go to Underdog today. But good point. Absolutely true. I'm just joking. At the running back position, there is one more player that interests me, and he's on the team I know you love. His name is Raheem Mostert. Can't stay healthy, but when he is, he's a race car.
Yeah, I've talked my...
Sorry to cut you off, but all I'm saying is that if everyone's healthy at the same time, is it possible that Raheem Mostert is the most talented running back on that team?
No, not impossible.
Not impossible. 180th in ADP. The defense rests.
Yeah, no, all I was going to say is I've also talked myself into just waiting 2 more rounds and drafting Sony Michel for those games where he just barrels his way in there. Maybe one, like if you talk yourself into the Dolphins offense being really good, you could probably talk yourself into Sony Michel having 3 solid games where he just scores 2 touchdowns.
I want more home run upside, not double touchdown upside.
I get that.
We've talked about Sony Michel. You've already convinced me to draft him in the 18th round, and I had to vomit and take a shower.
All right. I like Mostert better. I think Mostert being reunited with Mike McDaniel, that's going to be very solid. Now, again, if he can stay healthy, he really could out-touch Chase Edmonds. I just don't think that's what the team's going to look to do, though. I think they're going to keep it at a real strong committee system where I think Edmonds is the better pass catcher.
Now's probably time for Tannehill, no?
Yeah, it has to be because I think people are going to – some people take 3 quarterbacks. That person only has 1. So now we're in a spot where do you want to draft Raheem Mostert? Because I feel like if we don't draft him, we're not getting him.
I am fine there. Absolutely. I could also do, if you can believe it, Sammy Watkins or Curtis Samuel to backdoor Washington stack. Any of them. You decide.
We're going to go with Raheem Mostert. I think that's the best pick here. Well, it's because, again, like while I am sold on Cam Akers, I could easily see Raheem Mostert having multiple games where he trounces Cam Akers, where maybe Darrell Henderson sees a little more work. And then again, I'm just not as trustworthy on Saquon Barkley as you are. So
is Justyn Ross still there? That's another player I'm grabbing in literally every draft.
I got a lot of Justyn Ross. He's moving up. I mean, like not crazy amounts, but he was like going undrafted. Now he went undrafted in the NFL. But yeah, he went undrafted, and then now he's going up to the 200 range, going in the 180s in some drafts.
Yeah, it's me. I promise you, taking him at the 14-9 because the bottom line is, guys, he could be more talented than Sky Moore, and he got cleared to play. He had first-round talent, first-round athletics, and he wasn't cleared to play. He got cleared to play, and a couple of teams, maybe a lot of teams, didn't want to deal with his medicals, but he got cleared by the Chiefs. If he's on the field, he is a first-rounder in undrafted free agent clothing on Patrick Mahomes' team.
Watching him play football. Bro, they hurt us. Get this guy off my screen, too. I don't want fucking Carson Wentz on the screen. I have so much Odell. I am really hoping Odell comes back. All right. We're gonna make a pick.
All right, just do this Washington stack, I guess. Like Logan Thomas, Jahan Dotson, Carson Wentz is my play. You can do Duvernay if you want. I think we can push it.
Okay, so you want 3 tight ends, even though we have Pitts.
I guess not. Honestly, neither. We can just push it and do Odell Beckham. Honestly, that's a better tournament play.
Odell, you think?
Yeah, but I'm not
All right,
thinking straight, man. I just tilted. You saw me. Old he was. It's really incredible. Tylan Wallace season from Nolan Kelly. Honestly, that's a fine last round pick. I'm absolutely fine with that. Hyper athletic dude. It fills out our Baltimore stack a little bit. Now, naked Lamar, as you say, is something I'm not afraid of because his spike weeks come from his ability to win on the ground. Only 3 300-yard passing games in his entire career, but a couple of bombs here and there to Tylan Wallace. Now, he's a decent 18th round pick.
This guy. What is this?
He sniped us on Justyn Ross. I'm not sure. That's not the team for me.
That's a little bit crazy. I mean, Huntley was good, but
talk about getting unique though. I like Tylan Wallace. That's an easy one for me. Paris Campbell, hyper athletic.
My boy Braxton Berrios.
I mean, dude had his work last year. We just totally cast him off. But then again, that's what you believe when the Jets spend first round draft capital. Tylan moving up the depth chart and ending our draft.
So our team is comprised of Lamar Jackson and Ryan Tannehill at the quarterback position. Our running backs are Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Cam Akers, Alexander Mattison, and Raheem Mostert. Our wide receivers are Adam Thielen, Treylon Burks, Robert Woods, Christian Watson, Jarvis Landry, Jahan Dotson, Devin Duvernay, OBJ, and Tylan Wallace. And our tight ends are Mike Gesicki and Kyle Pitts. I should have whipped out my Jarvis Landry jersey that is in my closet when we made the pick, but it is in the Dolphins Aqua, so you wouldn't have even been able to see it because I got a green screen behind me.
Hey, and shout out to you. I see what you're doing as you rename your rosters there with your prominent stacks to keep everything organized. Look at you, you budding pro player. Guys, this is a lesson for you right there. There's also a Google sheet, that helps you track your rosters, but this is a very simple way just to help recall the draft board with these very simple notes. I can't recommend that enough. This was a good draft. A lot of stacking. Ryan Tannehill, I've told you his efficiency over the last 3 years has been excellent. If you isolate just last year, it was bad. Ton of upside, veteran talents as well. Adam Thielen, consistently underrated. Hope we see Odell Beckham sooner rather than later, and I hope Kyle Pitts takes that next step. Oof. We will be back next Monday at our typical time, 3:45 p.m. Eastern time. We will let you guys know when we're drafting so that maybe you guys can hop in to the draft room with us. For Nick at Notorious FNTSY, I am Matt Savoca at Draftaholic on Twitter. For the Awesemo Fantasy Football and Best Ball channel, we'll see you guys later.
Adios, mis amigos.
Such a bop.